Hey there, my friend. Have you ever been in a new city, standing on a street corner feeling completely lost? You look around, left, right, buildings, signs, people passing by, your phone dies, no map, no GPS, all you've got is English. Now imagine this. A tourist walks up to you, smiles, and says, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?" Would you freeze, or would you speak with confidence? Today, I want to take you on a journey that will not only help you ask for directions, but also give them clearly in English. And more than that, this journey will help you become more confident, more fluent, and more connected with the world around you. Let's start walking together. When I first started learning English, one of the scariest things for me was asking strangers for help, especially in a foreign country. What if they didn't understand me? What if I used the wrong words? What if I just sounded weird? But you know what helped me? It was learning how to ask for directions, the simple act of stopping someone on the street and saying, "Excuse me, could you help me?" It may sound like a small thing, but it's a huge step in building confidence in English. Let's break it down. Here are the most common phrases for asking directions. "Excuse me, how can I get to the museum?" "Could you tell me the way to the nearest ATM?" "I'm looking for the bus station. Can you help me?" "Is this the right way to the post office?" Simple, right? But here's the thing. When you ask for directions, it's not just about using the right words, it's about using your voice, your courage, your curiosity. When I first used one of these phrases in real life, I was in London. I needed to find a bookstore. My heart was racing. I walked up to someone and said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the nearest bookstore is?" The man looked at me and smiled. "Sure, go straight ahead, take the second left, and it'll be on your right, next to a coffee shop." I was shocked. I understood. And more importantly, I had made a connection with a real person, in real English. That moment stayed with me. It showed me that I could do it, that I didn't need perfect grammar or a big vocabulary. I just needed to try. So today, I want you to imagine that moment too. You are in a new city. You need help, and you can ask for it with confidence. Now let's talk about giving directions. Why is this important? Well, one day someone might ask you for help. Maybe a tourist in your city, maybe a new friend, maybe someone lost in an airport. When you know how to give directions in English, you're not just practicing language, you're helping someone, you're connecting, and you're becoming more fluent. Here are some common phrases for giving directions. Go straight ahead. Turn left at the traffic lights. Take the second right. It's next to the bank. It's across from the supermarket. You'll see it on your left. These are simple phrases, but they can mean the world to someone who's lost. Let me share another story. A few years ago, I was traveling in Japan. I had studied Japanese, but my skills weren't great. I was looking for a small temple in a quiet neighborhood. I couldn't find it. So I asked a local man in English, "Excuse me, do you know where this temple is?" He smiled. He didn't speak much English, but he tried. He said, "Go straight, 2 blocks, left, red building." He even used his hands to show me the way. I followed his directions and found the temple. It was beautiful, but you know what was more beautiful? That moment of kindness, that connection, that effort. Now think about this. You can be that person for someone else. Even if your English isn't perfect, your words can guide someone. Your voice can bring comfort. So practice giving directions. Use your hands. Use your heart. Speak with care. Because when you give directions, you're not just showing the way, you're building bridges. Now let's dive deeper. When you're asking for directions, it helps to understand the typical responses people might give. Often, native speakers use short phrases, gestures, or even local slang. That's why listening carefully and sometimes asking for clarification is so important. Let's explore some realistic examples and what they really mean. Imagine this. You say, "Excuse me, how do I get to the metro station?" And someone responds, "Oh, it's just down the road, past the bakery, then hang a left after the traffic lights." Hang a left? What does that mean? It's a casual way to say, turn left. See, language changes depending on how people speak. Some will say turn, some say go, others might say head toward or even hang a left. Here are some real-world expressions you may hear. It's right around the corner. That means it's very close. You can't miss it. It's easy to find. Just a stone's throw away. It's very nearby. It's a 5-minute walk. Not far. Head up that street and take a right. Walk forward and turn right. Now let's flip it. Imagine someone asks you, "Hi, I'm looking for Central Park. Can you help me?" You could say, "Sure. Walk straight down this road, past the cinema, then take the first left. Central Park will be on your right, just past the bakery." Simple, clear, helpful. When giving directions, try to use landmarks, shops, buildings, parks. Be specific, first left, second right. Be kind and patient. Use your hands if needed. Try repeating this. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn right at the corner. It's next to the post office. Cross the street and you'll see it in front of you. Practice these lines aloud. Say them slowly, then try them faster. With time, they'll become natural. Let me share another story from my own journey. A few years ago, I was in Paris. My French was okay, not great. I had just arrived and needed to catch a bus to my hotel. I walked up to a woman at the station and asked in English, "Hi, can you tell me how to get to bus 29? She looked at me, smiled kindly, and replied in broken English, "Yes. Bus stop. Down street. Next corner. Red sign." It wasn't perfect English, but it was perfect communication. I understood. And here's the lesson I want you to take. You don't need perfect grammar to help someone or to ask for help. You just need the courage to speak. You need the willingness to connect. Your message is more important than your mistakes. What if you ask someone for directions and you don't understand their reply? That happens. It happens to everyone, even fluent speakers. Here's what you can do. 1. Ask them to repeat. "Sorry, could you say that again?" 2. Ask them to slow down. "Could you please speak a little slower?" 3. Repeat what you heard. "So, I go straight, then turn left?" 4. Thank them. Even if you didn't understand everything, say, "Thank you so much." People appreciate effort. And remember, you're learning. Every conversation is a chance to grow. Now, let's practice some listening and responding. Imagine I ask you, "Excuse me, do you know where the train station is?" Pause for a moment. Think about your answer. Say it out loud, even if it's simple. Now try this one. "Hi there, I'm looking for Maple Street. Can you help me?" Take a breath. Imagine the street. Give directions. This kind of practice builds your brain muscles. It helps you think in English, not just translate. Let's learn some more helpful words and phrases you can use when asking or giving directions. Prepositions of place, next to, in front of, behind, across from, between, verbs and phrases, go straight, turn left, turn right, cross the street, pass the bank, walk past the cafe, continue until. Landmarks, traffic lights, intersection, bridge, roundabout, fountain, square. Example dialogue. You. "Excuse me, how can I get to the city library?" Local. "Go straight until you reach the roundabout. Take the second exit, then walk past the pharmacy. The library will be on your right, next to the school." Try writing your own version of this. Change the place. Use your own city as a guide. Let me remind you of something powerful. You might think asking for directions in English is a small skill, but it's not. It's a building block. Because in that one conversation you practice greeting someone, asking a question, understanding responses, responding back, saying thank you. That's 5 language functions in one short exchange. That's incredible. And even more important, you're using English in the real world. That's what fluency is all about. Fluency is not about knowing every word. It's about using what you know with confidence. So next time you're out, even in your own city, pretend you're a tourist. Practice asking someone how to get to a place in English. Or imagine someone asks you. Make it a game. Make it fun, because that's how you grow. Let's keep going. You're doing well so far. Remember, understanding directions is not just about hearing the right words. It's about understanding patterns, context, and tone. Think of English like a map. Every new phrase, every new situation is a new path you discover. So, let's continue building your direction toolkit, step by step. We've already practiced some basic expressions. Now, let's add more to your collection. Here are some useful verbs and phrases people use when giving directions. Walk along, walk beside something like a road or river. Walk along the river until you see the bridge. Take the underpass. Go below the street using a tunnel. There's an underpass near the statue. Use it to cross the road. Head toward, move in the direction of something. Head toward the tower. The cafe is right next to it. Keep going until, continue without stopping. Keep going until you reach the roundabout. Backtrack. Go back the way you came. If you miss it, you might need to backtrack a little. Practice time. Repeat each of these phrases out loud. Slowly first, then naturally. Walk along the path. Head toward the church. Keep going until you see the bank. You may need to backtrack. Speaking them helps lock them in your memory. Let me tell you about a mistake I made once. I was in Bangkok, Thailand. I had the name of my hotel written down. I showed it to a taxi driver and said, "Please take me here." He looked at the paper, nodded, and took me to the wrong place. Why? Because I didn't ask clearly. I didn't confirm the area. There were actually 2 hotels with the same name in different neighborhoods. I learned something very important that day. Even if you speak the language, always double-check. Ask questions like, is this near the train station? Is it in the old town? How long does it take to get there? These help you avoid confusion. And when you're learning English, these extra questions help build real fluency. Let's practice some real-world examples. I'll say a situation, and you try to respond aloud. Situation 1. You're on a city street. A tourist stops you and says, "Hi, do you know how to get to the art museum?" Your response, speak it now. Try giving 2 to 3 steps with landmarks. Situation 2. You're in a hotel lobby. A guest asks, "Excuse me, where's the nearest ATM?" Your response, try giving clear steps, left, right, go past. Situation 3. You're at a train station. Someone says, "Can you help me get to platform 9?" Your response, give steps. Use words like stairs, elevator, sign. Great job. This kind of practice is gold. Do it again and again. Record yourself. Hear your voice. Train your mouth and ears together. That's how language becomes natural. Imagine this. You're not just asking for directions. You're now the helper. And that's an amazing thing. When you give directions in English, you're helping people. You're part of their journey. That's powerful. So here are some extra polite phrases you can use when giving help. I'm not sure, but I think it's that way. You might want to check a map to be sure. Let me show you on Google Maps. It's a little tricky. Want me to walk you there? These make you sound kind, helpful, and confident. Let's do a few short, simple direction conversations. You can practice these with a friend or by yourself. Conversation 1. You. Excuse me, how do I get to the train station? Local. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn right. It's next to the bookstore. You. Thanks a lot. Local. No problem. Conversation 2. You. Hi, where's the nearest coffee shop? Stranger. Cross the street and turn left. You'll see it near the park. You. Great, thanks. Stranger. You're welcome. Conversation 3. You. Can you tell me how to get to City Mall? Local. Sure. It's a bit far. You might want to take a bus. You. Oh, which bus should I take? Local. Take bus 14 from that stop. It goes directly there. You. Thank you so much. Local. My pleasure. Try creating your own versions of these mini dialogues. Swap in your own city names and places. I want to pause here and remind you. Every sentence you speak, every question you ask, every mistake you make, it all counts. It's all progress. Sometimes people think, oh, I'll wait until my English is perfect. But let me ask you, when you were a child learning your first language, did you wait until you were perfect to speak? You spoke, you tried, you learned by doing, and that's exactly how you'll grow your English. So speak up. Ask questions, give directions, use your voice. You have everything you need right now. Thanks for learning with me today. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe for more real English stories and lessons. New episodes every week, so don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss one. See you next time.